Today, we will explore a profound topic through a masterpiece, Farewell, My Concubine. As the Western world completed the Second Industrial Revolution and enjoyed the benefits of modernization, what was happening in China, far to the east? This film serves as a time capsule, allowing us to witness the social conditions of China in the early 20th century. While the Western countries were enjoying modernized lives powered by electrification, automobiles, and mass production between 1880 and 1914, China was still mired in a semi-colonial, semi-feudal society. Warlord battles, foreign invasions, and social unrest. Farewell, My Concubine portrays the suffering and struggles of that era in an unflinching way. The irony is that the very reason Farewell, My Concubine became a classic is because it unapologetically exposes the dark side of the old society. The tragic fate of prostitutes, the brutal training of opera troupes, the trampling of art by power, and the powerlessness of individuals in the torrent of history. These raw and harsh depictions show Western audiences a completely different picture of modern Chinese history compared to the official narratives. But what is even more thought-provoking is, why can't Chinese films today produce works like this anymore? Why can we no longer see this kind of artistic courage that dares to face history and critique reality? The story begins in 1924 in Beijing. The opera troupe, Shifu Chung, performs on the street, with the eldest disciple, Xiao Shitu, saving the performance with a dangerous stunt, but being punished for stepping out of line. At this time, the prostitute Yan Hong brings her son, Xiao Duzi, to the troupe. Because Xiao Duzi has 6 fingers, the troupe master rejects him. Yan Hong, in the cold of winter, cuts off her son's extra fingers by hand and sends him to the troupe before quietly leaving. Xiao Duzi, new to the troupe, suffers from bullying, and only the eldest disciple, Xiao Shitu, offers him warmth. The training days are brutal, and Xiao Shitu is beaten for helping him slack off. Xiao Duzi feels guilty and warms Xiao Shita's bed at night with his body. When Xiao Duzi is assigned the role of a female Dan, a female character, he resists the female identity and insists on singing, "I am a man," even though his hands are bruised and bloody. Xiao Shitu, heartbroken, bandages his wounds, urging him not to make the same mistake again. Training is so hard that Xiao Duzi and a fellow boy, Xiao Lizi, escape from the troupe. They witness a performance of Farewell, My Concubine, and Xiao Lizi, crying, says, "How many beatings did it take to perform like this?" He then hangs himself. Xiao Duzi, however, is moved by the story of the king and the concubine and decides to return to the troupe. Their master teaches them, one must fulfill oneself. Before an important performance, Xiao Duzi once again sings the wrong lyrics, and this time Xiao Shitu punishes him severely. From that moment on, Xiao Duzi never makes another mistake, but he has also completely lost himself in the identity of a delicate female. When they are taken to perform at Lord Zhang's house, Xiao Duzi is sexually assaulted, and on the way back, he adopts an abandoned baby. 10 years later, Xiao Duzi becomes the stunning Cheng Jie, and Xiao Shitu becomes the heroic Duan Xiaolu. Their Farewell, My Concubine becomes incredibly popular. Jie has an obsessive attachment to Xiao Shitu. He says, "We've already performed as husband and wife 238 times. But when Duan Xiaolu falls in love with the prostitute Juxian and plans to marry her, Jie painfully questions him. Didn't we agree to perform opera together for a lifetime? 1 year, 1 month, 1 day, 1 hour. None of that counts as a lifetime." During the Japanese invasion of China, Jie sings in front of the Japanese army to save Duan Xiaolu, who is imprisoned. After Duan Xiaolu is rescued, he scorns Jie for performing for the Japanese. After the war, Jie is put on trial for being a collaborator, but expresses his wish to die, saying, "If Aoki were still alive, Peking Opera would have already been introduced to Japan." After 1949, they continue to perform, but the times have changed. Jie's adopted son, Xiao Si, becomes a revolutionary youth and publicly denounces his master. During the Cultural Revolution, Duan Xiaolu betrays Jie to protect himself, exposing his crimes, and even stating that his wife Juxian was a prostitute to distance himself. Juxian, wearing her wedding dress, hangs herself. 11 years later, they perform Farewell, My Concubine again. Jie finally realizes that he has always been a man, and his obsession with the king is just a dream. Like the concubine, he uses the sword that witnessed their lifelong love and hatred to commit suicide. This film shows Western audiences the turbulence and suffering of modern Chinese history. What is most shocking is its exploration of the relationship between art and power. When art becomes a political tool, how should artists preserve their conscience and dignity? The metaphor of 7 steps is brilliant. Lord Yuan criticizes Duan Shaolu for walking only 5 steps when returning to the camp as the king. Later, when Duan Shaolu pleads with Yuan to save Jie, Yuan walks 7 steps precisely, showing the true master style. Even during his public denunciation, Yuan walks in Peking Opera style toward death, maintaining the integrity of an artist. Leslie Chung's performance is a perfect example of method acting. He spent 6 months preparing for the role, learning from Peking Opera masters, and completely immersing himself in the character of Chung Die. When filming the smoking scene, he wildly hit the sticks, and director Chen Kaiga remarked that it wasn't a nicotine craving, but a rebellion against fate. After filming stopped, Leslie Chung wept uncontrollably, unable to step out of character. In today's Chinese film industry, it's hard to see works that dare to critique reality and face history head-on. When films become propaganda tools and commercial machines, the artistic spirit that Farewell, My Concubine represents seems to have disappeared. This makes us reflect. What should art serve? Should it sing praises for power or speak the truth? This film reminds us that, regardless of the era, it is crucial to maintain the independence and critical nature of art. As The Shawshank Redemption says, get busy living or get busy dying. Everyone has to choose. Go with the flow or stay true to oneself. If you believe that film should retain its artistic and critical nature, not just be a tool for propaganda, please share your thoughts in the comments. Like and subscribe to this channel, and we will continue exploring films that dare to speak the truth.